You're currently watching our Tokyo trip vlog. I'm Nick from Project TOB, Together Over Borders, and today I'll be your narrator leading you through our trip for this video. And there we were, traveling to Tokyo from 8 in the morning with the beautiful sunny weather, despite being in the mid-spring where we are supposed to have some kind of chilliness of air. We caught a train to travel to the station where a Tokyo bus was. And the purpose of this trip is for Marina, whom I promise you'll meet in the next video, and I with a project together. So TOB is a project started by us with the mission of spreading awareness of gender inequality, social norms, and stigmas. So for me, as a girl grew up in Vietnam, a country where gender issues still exist and have significant impact on girls and women, I've suffered a lot and experienced gender inequalities, which do not only come from society as a whole, with limited opportunities and chances, lack of acknowledgement and understanding, but also surprisingly within my family, where I'm often underdetermined and valued less than boys. And these are all the factors that have always been driving an urge in me to kind of take an act upon this issue and try to make some positive changes, even if they start from being very small and basic. So for the bigger community, I believe that, people, especially young girls and boys, living in a society filled with gender norms and expectations, are very much limited from their actual ability. And that's why it's very important to me, to Marina, and to our project, as well as the community out there, that we're trying to help to send a clear message that we girls, we should have equal opportunities and access as boys do. And so as to no gender, those boys out there, they deserve a chance to break free from norms and toxic masculinity. And the topic of gender inequality and feminism has been a big and long-lasting conversation for decades and even centuries already. There have been protests, suffragettes in the 19th, 20th century, both violent and peaceful methods have been taken. And look at the situation now in the 21st century, 2023, with when we try to promote stuff through conversations, through raising our voice, but the problem still exists despite the fact that there's been, as I said, both violent and peaceful actions that have already been taken. And the problem now even exists and taking on new forms. The issue here, the core issue here that we are project to lead, is that people know about this topic. They know about this topic, but only a few want or at least try to make changes. The majority seems to forget or take this issue for granted, since they have no kind of direct connection or are not directly impacted by gender inequality, which sadly and accurately is a truth happening mostly with boys or people holding the male gender right now. Therefore, we think that we need to define the word awareness again, whether it's only to know about the issue or to be eager to make positive changes about it. A change in people's mindset is also needed, as we believe. They need to stop viewing this problem as something that only impacts and refers to the female gender, girls or women, but to everyone, and even if that means including men and the LGBTQ community. Social norms and stigmas are all formed by misleading misconceptions in the mindset. And thus, this is a very fundamental key that we need to unlock to achieve more positive changes in the society and community. And from our experiences, we also realize how impactful can gender norms in different terms be. And that's why we know that this is not only a simple need, but indeed a very big need for both genders and all genders in all communities, and even on a larger scale, society. So that's why our project, TOB, Together Over Borders, does not only mean by bypassing borders in terms of, as I mentioned before, gender prejudices, but also passing the borders of that we have set, saying that women are the only one has connections to this problem and not men. Actually, men are the other gender that also significantly contributed and as well as suffered from all these norms and inequalities. And we also want to use as part of as our strength, which have Marina from Spain and me from Vietnam. We have a very diverse culture and very different backgrounds and experiences with this kind of like social norms and stigmas and all the gender prejudices that have been set upon us. We also want to break free, crossing the borders of culture where we all come together as one to tackle this one problem. And what's special about our project and the reason for this trip is to take on another borders, which means art. Very surprisingly, we found out that, mostly now when people think about raising awareness, it's usually like hosting workshops, delivering speeches. It's all something very much verbal. Like you gotta project it out either through the power of words or the power of a speech. But not many people have thought about the power that art can hold, and how can art help us to overcome and break down these high piling walls apart from the usual methods that I have just mentioned, like workshop and speeches and kind of like small activities. So the main activity of Project TOB that we hope to achieve is to carry out an art exhibition or like a small gallery in either CISAC Japan, the school that we're currently enrolling in, and hopefully in the future to like a bigger community such as in Valencia, Marina's hometown, or in Hanoi, where I'm come from. And so these art exhibitions and galleries will host like different forms of arts contributed by international artists and international art communities. And the theme of the exhibition will go around the term of gazes. Like how we hope to collect as a showcase the voices of different people and different perspective about how different gazes view the similar topics of gender inequalities coming from different backgrounds, each with their own stories and kind of like experiences to tell the story of gender inequalities, stigmas through drawings and photography as the two main forms of art. And why art exhibition? Why gallery? So we hope like through art exhibition, this exhibition and gallery, our goal and mission are to remind firstly communities that this is a significant issue, and the fact that I've shared earlier on, people see it as a very regular thing. Like, of course it should be like that. Like, and there's nothing we can do about it. Like the problem is insignificant. Is actually not the best perspective that we hope to take on. And moreover, we will also want to give like different communities an opportunity to reflect on this problem themselves. And we try to make people feel relatable to this topic despite of their gender experiences through the sharing of feelings, thoughts, and stories through art. Because art is just like a different form of language. That you express yourself so differently through art, where these kind of like message are not verbally projected anymore, but rather through a different form where there's no right or wrong, or there's no kind of like different languages. It's just like one single and very involved and very kind of like, I would say, a very inclusive language. And especially like we want to make them feel relatable because we take on the theme of gazes, we take on a theme of different perspective. So we hope at least like going to the gallery, hopefully they can find one corner that they can feel like, oh, like they can see themselves in there, so that they can be inspired to change their mindset, or even better, take positive action upon this issue. And that's why, to put this to life, we have decided to travel to Tokyo, which you have been watching since the beginning of the video till now, to visit feminist exhibitions and art galleries that are currently available in Tokyo then. And we hope to see the way the organizations and museums run art galleries and exhibitions regarding the logistics, layout, and promotion, as well as like art pieces and stuff. So that's a very quick wrap about not mainly our trip to Tokyo, but rather about our like backstory behind why would we want to do this project and what we hope to do with like TOB Together Over Borders. So thank you for spending your precious time here listening to us, and have a great day. See you!